In today's Procreate tutorial, we're drawing this playful little elephant squirting water, but with a twist of retro charm. I've been feeling really inspired by mid-century children's book illustrations lately. Check out the Fish Ink blog for some inspiration. That nostalgic textural style with simple shapes and clever colour palettes really speaks to me, and I wanted to bring a bit of that into this piece. I'll show you how to use texture and colour cleverly to add a depth and personality to your artwork. You don't have to start from scratch. There's a free sketch and colour palette waiting for you in the description, along with links to the exact brushes I'm using. These help me streamline my illustration process, but feel free to use what you have. We'll start by setting up our canvas with these dimensions and colour profile. I'll just open up the sketch group here, and I'm just going to switch these to multiply and around 40 or 50% for each one. Close this. I'm going to go to the background color, and from the palette select this color here. Let's just turn this sketch layer off, and this one. Create two new layers. Select both, group, rename, elephant. Close this. Grab the sketch, pop it on top. Select the bottom layer. We're going to use the sleek marker for this job at around size 7%. The color that I'll be using is this lightest color, third from the left, and I'm just going to create an outline of the elephant. Now let's select this layer here. We're going to continue using the brush. The color we'll use is this color here, and we're just going to do the ear now. Fill that in with color. Next we're going to choose this darkest color here, create a new layer. We're going to do the tail now. Fill that in with color. I might just fix this up like so. Let's turn the sketch off. Select this layer here, create a new layer on top. Grab the elephant layer, pop it on top. Select this layer here, and we're just going to color in with this color like so. Close this group, create two new layers, select both, group, rename. I'll call this splashes. Select the bottom layer, make sure you've got the sleek marker. I'll select this color here, first from the left. We can take this up to about 7, 8, 9%, that is fine. Let's go and turn the sketch layer on, turn the elephant off, turn the splashes on, and we are going to create an outline of these splashes. I might just turn this up in size a little bit. Now let's fill these in with color. Now let's select the Magic Rugged texture at around 35-36%. let's select this darkest color here. Select this layer. We're going to select the clipping mask for this layer. And for those of you that don't know how a clipping mask works, whatever I place on layer 11 will be clipped to layer 10. So all the texture on layer 11 will be contained to these splashes on layer 10. I'm going to lower the brush size to around size 12% and I'll do the smaller splashes. I'm going to select this layer here and select multiply and turn it down to about 80% or thereabouts. We're going to use the gritty crayon at around 48–50% is fine. I'll select this color here in the center. Let's go to the layers, close this group, open up this group, select this layer, create a new layer on top, clipping mask, and we're going to add some texture to the elephant. Next, wet and dry brush, 28%. I'm going to select the ear layer, create a new layer on top, clipping mask. The color that I will use is this one here, second from the right. I'll just make sure that this color is selected, second from the right. And we're just going to add this gorgeous texture to the ear. And I'll choose multiply and take it down to about 56–57%. Select this layer here, create a new layer on top. I'm going to use the dry brush at 3%. Select the darkest color here, third from the right. I'll go to the sketch, turn on elephant, and we're just going to add some detail to the face. And before we do, I can just turn this layer off. Wet and dry brush, 28%. Let's turn this layer off and turn the text layer on. We're just going to add some text to the biggest splash of water here. So let's select this layer, create a new layer on top. We're going to use this lightest color here, third from the left. I'm just going to turn this layer off momentarily so I can see what I'm doing. Let's turn this layer back on, and that sort of lifts the text off the background. We'll continue using the wet and dry brush. I'll just create a new layer on top, and I'm just going to add a few white highlights to this splash of water. Now I'll use the dense stippler at around size 13 or 14. I'll choose this pink color from the left. I'm going to close this group, go back to the elephant group, create a new layer on top, and I'm just going to add this gorgeous rosy cheek to the elephant, like so. I'll select this layer, and for the blending mode I will select linear lot and just take it down a tad in terms of opacity. That seems about right. We're almost there, just one last step. We're going to use the distressed brush for this job at around size 14. We'll use this lightest color, third from the left here. Let's close this group and create a layer here. I'm just going to grab this group and pop it on top. And I'm just going to add this really gorgeous texture to about 2/3 of the background here. So from the top here to about there. And now I'm going to select the subtle texture brush at around 34-35%, and I'm just going to add this to the bottom third of the background, like so. And I'll go to that layer, and for the blending mode I'll select screen, just lift it a little bit, and I'll take it down to about 80%. And that's it, folks. So our cute elephant is complete. That's how easy it is. I hope you had fun experimenting with texture and color to bring this illustration to life. Let's just quickly have a look at our illustration in detail. So let's look at this gorgeous background texture that we just added. It just adds that retro analog feel to our illustration, and it doesn't take long at all. And so we've got that throughout the background here, and that literally took us 30 seconds to 1 minute to apply. Let's have a look at the elephant. We've got this beautiful texture on the elephant, on the ear. We've got this beautiful textured detail, line work for the facial features. Beautiful texture just running through the splashes of water here. Even the text here, I'll just zoom in so you can see the gorgeous texture within the splash text. If you found any value in this tutorial and want more ways to level up your Procreate skills, please tap that like button and subscribe for more step-by-step illustrations. By doing this, you'll help me create more content. I'd love to see your version, by the way. Tag me on Instagram so I can check out your artwork. Thanks for watching, and happy drawing!